Hello and welcome everybody to Side Effect, our midweek Flickr Effect sideshow where we take a look at the news from the world of film, television, and pop culture, and whatever else is on our minds. Today is Monday, February 5th, 2018. This episode, we're going to be pretty much focusing on last night's Super Bowl, or more specifically, the movie trailers and movie news coming from all the commercials that we saw during the Super Bowl. By the way, I'm David Lott. Joining me this week is Bobby Jackson.
Hello.
Yasha Wilson.
Hey, everyone.
And Michelle Hillard.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
That's quite an intro.
It was quite an intro. Bravo.
I don't know. Feeling a little saucy tonight. A little saucy.
All right, guys, let's jump right into it. There was a lot to talk about and a lot that we were already texting each other about as we watched the Super Bowl. And we've got a new, our first look at Mission Impossible Fallout. We got a new Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer. Some news about Cloverfield 3. And but first and foremost, in my opinion, probably the biggest news of the night, we got our first look at Solo, a Star Wars story. Are you okay? Do you need a moment?
I'm fine. I'm trying to add effect here.
We got a first look at that last night with I think it was about a 60-second TV spot, which also just basically acted as a teaser for the trailer that we saw this morning, which I believe released on Good Morning America. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, a more full-length Solo trailer dropped this morning, though it's really still not even full-length. It's like an hour, a minute 40. It's kind of short for a trailer, but I don't know if you call it a teaser or what. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So we all kind of shared our opinions on the thing we saw last night during the Super Bowl, but none of us have really talked about this more full-length trailer today. So I am very curious. And first, I'm going to go to you, Yasha. What'd you think of it?
Whoa, me first. Okay,
you first.
Cool. I was pseudo in last night when I saw the teaser. I was, hey, that looks fun. I kind of dug the voiceover commentary as it led into the title page. I knew exactly what it was when they first started rolling clips, and I yelled at my buddy. I was like, "Hey, fucking watch this, dude! This is Solo," and because he's a huge Star Wars guy. And when I saw the trailer this morning, I really kind of solidified, yeah, I'm all in. It looks fun. I think not to kind of steal what you might be saying, David, later on, but I have a real Rebel One type vibe to it.
Rogue One.
I feel like a Rebel One.
Rogue One.
What's that? Rogue One. Excuse me. Rogue One. Thank you. Rogue One vibe to it, and it looks, yeah, enjoyable. I'm excited. I'm still a little concerned and kind of weirded that they waited until the Super Bowl to finally release something, but I guess I kind of understand because the Super Bowl is such a huge platform, and the teams that were playing they didn't know who the teams were going to be playing, but the Super Bowl is such a huge platform that, obviously they wanted to make sure that the biggest amount of people that they could possibly get at one single time really gotta look for it. Because, aside from Woody Harrelson, there's really not that many people in that movie that might be a household name. They're going to be a household name after this. They're household names for us because we're, in this geekdom and, we appreciate all this stuff. Aside from Emilia Clarke, there's Childish Gambino, but I still don't right now. I don't remember who's playing Solo. I know I've seen him before and I really enjoy the guy's work, but I don't remember what his name is right now off the top of my head. But anyways, getting back to my point of what I was saying, sorry to kind of take a detour there, but I really did enjoy the trailer and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Michelle, what'd you think? You just watched it 10 minutes ago?
The full trailer, yeah. Well, so I saw the... God, you guys make me feel like I'm super lame. So last night, I saw the teaser for it, and then today I did things, and I finally watched it this evening. But I will say, yeah, I watched it just 10 minutes ago, but I've watched it 3 times. 4, actually. So, yeah, anywho, here's my feelings. Hello, awesome. I I feel like I haven't had any like feelings say against this film. I agree in the whole like initially it was kind of like, do we need this film? Not really need, no, but I've been pretty okay with it. But I gotta say, watching this, I was just like, oh my god, this gives me like weird like New Hope and like Rogue One feelings, like mixed together. Like it gives me all the warm fuzzies. I like the shots of seeing the ship all clean and neat and brand spanking new. I love the shots with him and Chewie. Like, I'm super okay with it. And yeah, the guy who plays him is Alden
Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich. I almost said Eckenreich.
That's
Ehrenreich.
probably why I have such a hard time with his name, because it's really, really a good different one.
It's like super Swedish or Norwegian.
Yeah, maybe.
I want to say it's Swedish.
Right.
It's a very Swedish kind of feel to it to me. Anywho, so and this kid's awesome. I mean, we saw him in what was it? The what brothers?
Coen brothers film.
Yeah, the Coen brothers film. What was that?
Yeah.
That one with him in it. Hail Caesar.
Hail
Hail
Caesar.
Caesar. Yeah,
Hail
and
Caesar.
he had a scene.
And he was so fantastic in that movie. He was
Right?
stole the whole damn thing
he
for me.
had a scene-stealing moment in that film. And that film was kind of so-so, but that one scene was superb. Like, that was spectacular acting. And I was just like, holy hell. Yeah, I mean, the kid shows amazing promise. I think he's got the look. I think he's got the talent. I think it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. And who doesn't love Emilia Clarke? And what's his name? Glover. I just lost it.
Donald Glover.
Danny Glover.
I love
Donald
him.
Glover.
I've loved him since Community, dude. Like,
Hell yes.
right? I mean, the Community days. That's legit. Like, he's awesome. It looks good. He looks good as Lando. The whole thing is good. There's a nice like polish to everything. Everything's obviously updated to today's technology standards, but no, it looks like it seems like there's a solid story that's happening, and yeah, I'm all in. I'm super. Memorial Day. What is that? May whatever's that.
The release date is May 25th.
Hey, Memorial Day weekend. I'm good.
All right, Bobby. Let's hear it, buddy.
Yes.
What did you think of Solo, a Star Wars story, our first look?
Yeah, well, I guess our pre-first look was yesterday at the Super Bowl, and that short teaser that they had I thought was pretty fantastic. Definitely, as Josh said, has the Rogue One vibes to it, so it has that realistic kind of lived-in world that we first felt when you're watching Rogue One. And then watching the full-length trailer, I guess, for today, it still played on those themes that I saw from that little teaser, fleshing it out a little bit. And so I'm definitely in on all those aspects. I'm just not convinced still for Alden in terms of him being Han Solo, and I don't expect him to look like Han Solo or sound like Han Solo, because that's just Harrison Ford. But I do kind of the character itself, regardless of the fact that it's played by Harrison Ford, that there's a certain cadence in the way he talks, and I feel like you could at least do that even though you don't sound like him. So he didn't quite seem like Han Solo-ish to me yet, but it's just a small sample size of this trailer that we had to really base any kind of opinion off of. So, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I'm just not all the way convinced yet.
All right, I guess that leaves me. So yeah, I watched the teaser, the TV spot during the Super Bowl. Same opinion. I thought it looked great. I mean, I basically went from being insanely skeptical about this movie, as I've mentioned many times on here, to going, okay, cool, I'm totally in. This is good. Like you guys have already said, like it has a very, very similar aesthetic to Rogue One. Both of those movies, I mean, we haven't seen this one yet, but both of them seem like they're capturing the Empire era of Star Wars history really well. Like, there's something about it. Like, I'm like just right off the bat, I'm like, oh my God, this looks amazing. It looks so
like
good.
The Star Destroyer coming out from those clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, not Star Destroyer. What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously, that was an amazing shot.
No, it looked
like,
awesome. That TV spot was, I think, just really well cut, really well done. Like everything, it was good. And then I saw the thing this morning, and I kind of went back to being kind of like,
what?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of sound like I'm repeating what Bobby just said, but everything, Alden Ehrenreich is. I think we can all agree that there's going to be a lot of things that this movie will need to do to be a very good film, but I think we could all agree that the most important thing is how is Alden Ehrenreich going to be as Han Solo. And I got to agree, like watching it, like some of the lines that he delivers, the dialogue, I'm just kind of like, and
well,
hey, I'm saying this like
understandable,
but let me be clear too. I'm not looking for him to do like a Harrison Ford Han Solo impression, because that would just probably be terrible. Like, I don't want that, and he doesn't need to look like Harrison Ford as Han Solo. I mean, that's not really necessary either, but I don't know, some of their choices for some of the lines he delivers, like that very last line, he gets like he's, piloting the Falcon and he gets out of something and then suddenly they're into something else and I forget what he says. And it's just something about it that I pictured that line being delivered by Harrison Ford. And I was like, I think it would have worked in that case. But here it seems like he's trying to play the part, but it just fell flat for me. I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know. I'm in the same boat as Bobby, basically, where now I'm very unsure about him still. I'm very open-minded. We haven't seen much yet, and hopefully it's good, but I really enjoyed the TV spot. And then this, when I actually got to hear him speak some, I'm not back to being super skeptical, but I've stepped back a little bit, back to, okay, well, we'll see.
I understand your trepidations towards this. And with Aaron, and I mean, obviously, I'm going to need to see the film, but I mean, from what I know, from what I've seen him do in Beautiful Creatures and in
Hail Caesar.
God, I keep wanting to say Roman something. I don't know why. Hail Caesar. The kid, he's good. He's got the goods. And when it comes to accents and doing wordplay work, he knows what he's doing. And I'm glad that it's not like he's not trying to do an impersonation of Harrison. I'm glad that that's not happening. I agree. I feel like maybe the delivery in what we're hearing currently isn't quite the way I really would want it. I think, obviously, if I sit here and I think of Harrison saying those lines, I feel like the pauses would have been better or would have been faster or whatnot. And at the same time, though, like, I think if he were to try anything else, it would just feel super forced. So we'll just have to see. And we'll have to see what the final cuts are.
I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we'll have to see what the final cuts are, and we'll have to see what happens once the movie's officially done. Like, signed, sealed, delivered. We are watching this in the theater. But, I mean, and as far as his look goes, I mean, I think he wears the clothing well. Obviously, it's insanely hard to find somebody that's going to look almost identical to, say, Harrison Ford when he was that age, and also be able to act. Like the two are going to be almost not. It's almost impossible to actually have done. Having said that, I also feel that when you're like, if I were to look at Han Solo as a human being per se, when you're younger, you're cushier. Like, you have a softer, rounder face. Like, things aren't so jaunty, and he ages and he gets a little more, I guess, square face. Like, jaw lines start to become more prominent and cheekbones become more prominent. So the younger version would look a little more cushy, I guess, is the best way to put it. So, I mean, like, I think it works for me. Like, even though they're not identical, I think it works. Like, I'm like, yeah, I could see this actually being him, like a younger version of him, Like,
I mean, I wish I had walked away from it feeling the same, but I just didn't. Like,
yeah.
Oh no, see, I didn't. I looked at it and I didn't think that he looked like a younger version of Harrison Ford, like, at all. Like, I really didn't. I'm doing my best to try and dismiss almost everything that I expect to hear from a Harrison Ford type role Han Solo, and just kind of like, well, maybe not dismiss it, but just to like accept it a little
just
bit.
Just embrace it for what it is.
Yeah, as a different one, because I think that, not to discredit what you or Bobby said or anything like that, but it's like that could be a problem, because when I sat there and I thought about it and I looked at it like, oh, this is a young Harrison Ford, or this is a young Han Solo that's Harrison Ford played, it's, it doesn't work, because, you expect him to say it a different way, or you're expecting him to say it with, the Harrison Ford charm or anything to that effect, or act it like Harrison Ford has been acting Han Solo for the better part of 30 years now, or that's been burned into our memory because that's what we know. Whereas in, this is something that we don't know. This is something that we have no idea what, we're really going to dive into, or what we're really going to explore when it comes to these characters, I like to think. We don't even know if, like, is this going to be where he meets Chewie? Are we going to see any background with that? Maybe you do. I don't. Who are some of these other characters that are in it? I have no idea who anybody else is. How much role is the Empire going to really play? Are we going to introduce a whole nother villain? I'm trying to accept this and go into this as like almost just like, okay, let's see what you can do when it comes to entertaining me. Because as far as Han Solo, like, to me, I still stand by like what you said before, David, and what we've all agreed is like, do we need this movie? Probably not. I'm going to watch it and hopefully I enjoy it. But as far as being interested in going to go see it, I'm kind of sold on that. Like, I'm ready to go watch it. Like, I'm definitely going to give it a shot and see, and I have hopes that it'll be good.
I think that's the best way to go into this, honestly. I think what you're saying is just go with it for what it is. Don't come in with it with any like pre-thoughts or feelings or try to do any comparisons. Like, just go into it fresh and enjoy it for what it is. And I think that's the best way to go with it. Gosh, I totally agree with you on that. I think I hope that's how people look at this. I hope they're not just comparing it the whole time to Harrison, whatnot. Like, it's like nobody's going to be Harrison Ford. Like, you're just not like Harrison Ford's Harrison Ford. That's it. Like, period.
I guess I don't think of it that way as you guys are saying. I'm looking for him to be Han Solo, like the character that I know and understand, and to have at least echoes of it, because obviously this is an earlier point in his life and maybe he went through changes before we see him as he is, but there has to be that feeling that this is still that character. And it's for me to, I guess, break it down to the easiest way that I can, to give you a sense of what I'm thinking. Without saying a word, when I look at Donald Glover, I was like, damn, yeah, I could see that being Lando. But when I see Alden, and so far what we've gotten from him, I'm still like looking for that moment or that time when I'm like, yep, that's it. That's what I need from that character. Now, Donald could start talking and maybe I don't get that sense, but just from just a visual look and standpoint, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can go with that. So it's just like I just need more with Alden to see if I can feel like that's Han Solo for me. Not Harrison, but Han Solo.
Agreed. I completely agree. I need to walk out of the movie feeling like I saw a movie with Han Solo in it, and based off of this trailer, I'm unsure that he's going to feel like Han Solo. Again, I'm saying that like I don't need it to be an impersonation. I don't need to look. I'm fine with the way he looks. I think he looks fine. But so far, I haven't seen anything yet. Not saying it's not going to happen, but I haven't seen anything yet. I'm trepidatious that he is going to feel like Han Solo. That's what worries me. That's what's worried me all along. I've said all along, like, I didn't want this movie to happen because I'm like, I don't want to see somebody else play Han Solo. Like, how are you going to pull that off? Like, but I've been open-minded about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's do this. But I never got a feeling with any of the dialogue we saw in that trailer that, yeah, that's a young, I can buy that. That's a young Han Solo. Like, he just felt like a different guy, completely different guy.
Well, what if we look at it this way? We look at it as, hey, this is Han Solo in his early 20s where he's still trying to find who he is, and he's still trying to find kind of his own personality and the way he expresses himself. And we're watching the development of what we know to be him.
I don't know. I still need something else out of him. That's
we've got a long ways to Memorial Day.
So I definitely went from being super excited after the TV spot to okay. Like, it seems like they're doing everything else right. The movie looks fantastic. Like you just mentioned, Bobby, Donald Glover as Lando looks great. I totally buy that so far, having not heard much dialogue yet.
I was going to say, there's only been like 3 words uttered by him.
But he looks great. Everything else looks great. It seems like hopefully they're going to get everything right. It's just now I'm like, please, on there, right? Please make this work for me. The only other thing I'll mention, by the way, and this is a super nitpicky thing, but in its full animation and everything, I'm not a fan of the title card. Like, I really think it looks stupid.
It looks weird. There's a weird feel to it. I agree. Like
I don't like it.
It looks it looks too animated almost.
Yeah, it just looks so kind of, I don't know. I guess they're going for like a early Star Wars. Obviously, they are going for an early Star Wars look, but it just looks weird to me.
It looks too cartoonish almost.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like something that should be like Solo. It looks like it should
like
be
a kid's animated show,
like Clone Wars. Yeah, it looks like it should be the animated titles. Like, it looks very cartoony to me.
Yeah,
I will agree. Like, I was like, oh,
I'm not a fan of that.
I don't think I like that. Ugh.
And I also I don't think this more full length trailer was just put together as well as that TV spot.
It seems like it wasn't.
Like, the TV spot with the dialogue with, I guess he's kind of like an Imperial recruiter talking to Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is just really well done.
I feel like they could have basically just made a longer version of the teaser that we got at the Super Bowl, and that would have been fine.
So.
What did you guys think? It's weird that I didn't notice this, and I almost feel ashamed for not noticing this. But a friend of mine brought this up to me, and he is very unhappy with the fact that they changed the look of the Millennium Falcon. I didn't even notice it until he pointed it out.
It's not missing that center section. It's like all filled in, right?
One piece.
Yeah, it's all one piece.
It's a brand new fucking ship.
But that's like,
that was one thing that I noticed.
I will say I don't have a problem with it, but it is surprising to me because it's one thing to go, hey, it's new and it's shiny and the inside is all white instead of dirty. Like, I'm cool with all of it, but especially that. But then, when I saw that, oh wow, like it doesn't have the 2 pieces in the front, it's just all filled in. Why is that?
It's not like it looks like a clasp or a wrench kind of almost.
Like, that's interesting. Like, okay,
maybe it goes through a few tweaks from its original
it
phase.
didn't bother
Who
me.
knows?
I just thought it was interesting that it bothered him so much, and he was like, "Oh, they're just doing that to sell more toys." I was like, "Well, maybe I guess."
Maybe.
But
I don't
I
know.
could also see how, like, because Han is. Didn't he say in one of the movies that he made some modifications to it?
Right.
And so I'm sure something must happen to the ship that damages the front end or something. And he fixes it up. So
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me either.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, it's undergone modifications throughout many a year. Like, I feel like Han's constantly tweaking the Millennium Falcon for certain reasons. Yeah. I mean,
really
I just didn't even think about that. Like, I was just kind of like, I just accepted it for, the ship's brand new and shiny, and it'll eventually change here and there, and they'll fix things up and make things do this and do that, and I just accepted it.
All right, well,
Anywho.
That is Solo, a Star Wars story. It comes to theaters May 25th, which will be here before we know it. So there was some other stuff. Mission Impossible Fallout. We got our first look at that. And there was a TV spot for that, which they announced, right now, that immediately that there's a full trailer online. I think we've all seen it, I assume. So, Michelle, you seem extremely excited to talk about this. So why don't you go first? What did you think of Mission Impossible Fallout?
Oh my God, so excited. This looks awesome. I mean, from what very little you get, you have basically the bad guy from the last film doing, I guess, I don't want to say a monologue per se, but he's definitely talking over all the shots that are being shown. And he brings up a point that's really interesting, and you're watching it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I love this. It's nice to see the team back. Like, Ferguson is a spectacular addition to that team, and seeing her, I got all the feels and the helicopter. I loved it. There really isn't anything in this that I wasn't happy with. It looks like it's going to be hella action-packed, and I think the storyline could be really intriguing because towards the end of it, there's a small monologue from Cavill's character, which I have no idea what his character is, but he kind of goes into, you know, how long can a man be basically effed over by his government time and time again? Like, how long until he finally breaks? So it raises the question, like, is this where he finally draws a line and is like, F this shit, and moves on? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it brings a lot of questions to light, and I'm very excited to see where this goes. And yeah, it just looks like insanity with stunts, and it's what I expect out of a Mission Impossible. I expect a story to just make me go, wait, what? Who did what? Who crossed over? Who? Wait, hold on a second. And still be going, oh my God, that looks like it hurt. Oh my God, that's amazing. Holy crap, I can't believe he pulled that off. Oh, he's still in one piece. Oh, he's still moving. Like, it hit on all of my little notes that I have when it comes to Mission Impossible films. I'm super geeked out for this. I've been waiting for this one. I'm a huge Cavill fanatic. I have issues. It's not healthy. And he's been posting like crazy on Instagram, so I've been just like waiting, and yeah, to finally see a final trailer for this. I am 100% all in. Yes, please. May I have some more?
Bobby, what do you think?
You know what? I completely spaced and forgot that there was a full-length trailer.
Oh,
Bobby
of all people.
Oh,
I know. There's a lot going on.
Well, the TV spot. What do you think of TV spot?
Oh.
The TV spot I thought was great. It looks like the same that we've been getting from these movies, and I'm just okay with that. And I mean, just okay. And I like that idea. I don't need it to be anything different or go beyond what it's been doing, because I think they're fun action movies, and knowing when you go in that theater that Tom Cruise is doing those stunts just makes it that much more fun when you're watching it. So the little bit that they did show in that commercial spot made it just like, for me, yep, I'm going to be there that opening weekend and enjoying the hell out of it.
Yasha, what do you think?
Same. I mean, in all honesty, I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I'm a fan of these movies. I'm all in. Like, I haven't even watched the full length trailer. I mean, I saw the trailer yesterday, and it was just loud where I was at, so I didn't really get a full scope of it. I think I just didn't get a real feel for it. I saw most of it, and I just was like, I'm still all in. Like, I've been waiting for this movie, just like I think Michelle, and I'm just ready to watch it. Like, I mean, I'm all in. I know that he's doing all those stunts. I know he's crazy like that. And I'm ready to go.
Like, I think they actually showed a shot of the stunt that he does where he got hurt on the set. Like, I was watching it, I was like, that one looked like that fucking hurt. Like, there's no way around it. Like, I was watching it. I've watched the trailer probably 3 or 4 times now. And every time they show this one stunt that he does, it's this moment of, I think that's where he got hurt, because that looked like that hurt like a mother.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be. Like, it just, yeah, no. Awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of repeat everything everyone else said. It looks great. I've been a big fan of the Mission Impossible series as well, and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation was great, and this will be the first time we have a director return to make another one, Christopher McQuarrie. And yeah, what else is there to say? Mission Impossible Fallout looks really good. So I would argue that, yeah, other than, obviously I have a pure excitement about a Star Wars movie, so the Solo trailer, captured the night for me. But as trailers go, I would say that this is the best trailer, at least the full-length version was the best trailer that premiered last night. Like, the trailer is really good. So if you haven't watched the Mission Impossible Fallout trailer yet, you should watch it.
You really need to check it out. I'm looking forward to seeing the additions of Harry Cavill and Angela Bassett. I think that's going to be an interesting twist. But I'm glad that basically the whole team's back. I'm excited to see Rebecca Ferguson. I'm excited to see Simon Pegg. Even Alec Baldwin's coming back. Ving Rhames. I mean, we're getting the team. The team's all there, dude. And I'm yes, please. May I have some more? Like.
I'm interested to see Henry Cavill's addition too. He looks awesome.
He does look awesome, doesn't he? Oh. I mean, I'm cool. It's cool. Everything's great.
All right, so what else? We got another look at Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. We had already had a kind of a teaser trailer for that, a few weeks back. And we got a longer trailer that premiered last night. That played really, really early in the broadcast.
We were still in the first quarter.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we were barely at kickoff when it played. So anyway, what did we all think of that, Bobby? What did you think of that one?
Yeah, so I mean, we had already a first look at it, and I think that first trailer back, it's like, okay, it's Jurassic. I don't really know what else to say about it. And then with this trailer, it expanded upon some of the aspects of what this movie's about, and it looked better to me. Not from a visual level, because they kind of got that down with the way the dinosaurs look and stuff, but I mean just in the sense of the tone and in some of the shots. Because in the beginning, when you see that, I don't know if it's a velociraptor or whatever it is that's coming through the bedroom window of the little girl, I thought she was just dreaming. And then later on in the shot in the trailer, you see a shot of the dinosaur in the room with her, and I was like, okay, this is crazy. It's going into places and doing different setups and scenes that I haven't seen visually from the series before. So it made it look a little bit more interesting than just them on the island running away from dinosaurs, which you do see some of those aspects. But it was some of the other stuff that I hadn't seen before that really got me a little bit more interested in it. So I think overall, it made me a little more interested in seeing this one. I was going to see it either way, and I'm sure I would enjoy it. But I think this one piqued my interest a little bit more than that first trailer did.
Yeah, I mean, I would basically agree. I think that first trailer lacked something for me. I just don't think it was very good. I didn't feel like suddenly I wasn't going to go see the movie. I'm going to see the movie either way as well, but I didn't really get great vibes from that first trailer. This one, I wouldn't say was a lot better, but it was better. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm still a little unsure about it, but there's aspects of the movie that I still find interesting. I mean, just the fact that Jeff Goldblum's going to be in this is like, okay, cool. That sounds great. The trailer is better, but I don't know. I'm still crossing my fingers it'll be, because I really enjoy Jurassic World. I'm hoping it's going to be as good as that or better, but I'm kind of skeptical. But no, I guess I'm just kind of hoping for an entertaining dinosaur movie at this point. Michelle, your thoughts?
I'm going to have to echo what you guys said. Honestly, I feel like this was a better trailer than what we got. I want to say it was around Christmas we got that teaser.
Right.
Because the teaser, I'll be honest, I watched that teaser and my whole response, I think if you listen to the show, I basically went, meh. It just did nothing for me, and it doesn't make me excited in any way, shape, or form for the film. This one is a better done trailer. I'll be honest, I still am not hooked. I'm still extremely trepidatious about this. I feel like Jurassic World was fine. I think it was an enjoyable film. It was fun. I think it could have been slightly better. I guess my hopes were a little higher than they probably should have been, maybe. But in seeing this trailer, I'm still kind of just in the meh kind of category with it. I don't know. I'm sure is going to deliver some pretty spectacular action sequences, and there's going to be some pretty heart-pounding moments that they're going to really throw in there. But as far as the story itself goes, I don't know. I don't. It's not drawing me in right now. I will be curious to see the additional assets of Jeff Goldblum in this one. We'll see how that fits in. But right now, this trailer has not heightened any excitement for me in this franchise. It has not made me look forward to the film anymore. I mean, I'm going to see the film because I love Jurassic Park. It's part of who I am, but I don't know. My excitement level is very, very subdued in this one, and the trailer didn't do a lot more for me. So yeah.
I get it. When is that movie coming? June 22nd.
Yay, summer. Summertime.
What is it? In the third quarter, we got a little more look at Avengers Infinity War with a kind of a short TV spot, like a 30-second spot. I don't know. We've already seen a trailer for this.
I mean, it showed a little bit more.
Oh, it did. I'm saying that. I'm just saying it was short, like 30 seconds.
No, it was very short.
So, I mean, what did you think, Michelle?
I mean, as a whole, I mean, obviously, I'm stupid excited for this film. I've been excited for Infinity War for a while, but the first trailer, I was kind of like, "Hey, sweet, team's all together, team's back." And then with this one, this quick little teaser we got, I liked it. It I don't know if it really amped up my excitement, but almost like revalidated where I was with it going into this film. I like kind of seeing a few additional shots of a few additional characters that I was like, yep, okay, cool, confirmed. Finally, yay. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody interact with each other. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kept my excitement and anticipation for this film up where it is. It hasn't heightened it, but it hasn't taken away. That's where I'm at.
Bobby, any thoughts on the Avengers Infinity War TV spot?
I thought it was short and sweet and to the point. I mean, I think it served its purpose for what it meant to imply and show, which is that by putting it in the Super Bowl as a 30-second trailer or whatever you want to call it, commercial spot, it puts it on the radar of the average moviegoer who doesn't frequent the websites and all the movie news like we do. It's for people who didn't even realize there was another Avengers coming out, and it shows you that there's all these characters that you've seen from these other movies all together, and that there's that shot at the end that shows Thanos that's what is going to be their threat this time around, and they're really kind of putting all the things together to culminate for this movie. And I think they accomplished that well enough for people who didn't know, and now if they see that, want to know more, then they can just go on the web or whatever and see the full-length trailer. And I think from my point of view, I don't feel like I need to see another trailer, because between what we've already had in the 30-second spot, I think I'm good. I don't, the movie's coming out in a few months, so no need to really start seeing anything more from it, because I already know I want to see it, and I'm already anticipating it. I've seen more stuff at Comic-Con, so yeah, I'm pretty good. And I think the biggest takeaway for me from seeing that 30-second spot was just seeing Thanos at the end in that close-up and looking like the CG is, they're still working on it, and it's looking better and better, because it looked really, really good last night.
Yeah, it was looking rough in the other one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it rough. I think I'm still like kind of funky about how his look has changed. I think is the thing that kind of gets me.
From the initial like glimpse that we got how many movies ago to now
to the Josh Brolin Thanos. I think there's been an unnecessary movement toward making him look like Brolin, which I don't know. I mean, same thing. For me, it was, I guess my takeaway was, that was shorter than I expected. I mean, I agree with you, Bobby. It's not like it needed to be longer. It's, you're only trying to appeal to maybe people who didn't even realize the movie was coming out. Obviously, everyone else is going to be seeing it anyway. But I don't know. I guess I was expecting at least maybe a 60-second spot. And then when it was only half that, I'm like, oh, wow, that was really quick. And yeah, there's some shots in it we don't see in the other trailer, but otherwise, I was like, oh, wow, that's over. Okay, moving on. Like, that was kind of my takeaway from it. And I definitely will. I mean, I'm going to say this as someone who, look, I would have seen this movie having not seen anything. I mean, obviously, I'm going to see this movie. But with that said, if when another trailer comes out, am I going to watch it? Yes. Because I'm honestly still falling in the same boat that I'm like, I don't know. There's something about it that's just not pulling me in. Like, I know that sounds sacrilegious, but
it's not though.
It just feels. I just so fear that this is just too much, like too many characters, and everyone's going to be fighting for screen time, kind of thing. And then the Thanos. I don't know, like something about him that I'm like, oh man, we've been waiting for this guy forever, and I really hope they don't fuck it up or something, But it's Marvel. I'm confident they're not. I say that having not been a fan of the last two movies they've made, but overall they've got a pretty damn good track record. So, Anyway, my takeaway from the TV spot again was that it was short. That was really my takeaway. Last, and I mean, we can touch on some other stuff too, but the last thing I was going to bring up was the Cloverfield paradox. To backtrack a little bit, I mean, we've been hearing that, hey, a third Cloverfield film is coming up soon, and no one has known the name of it, and there hasn't really been a release date, but correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like everyone's been saying it's coming out in the spring. I thought
I feel like it was supposed to be late spring, early summer was kind of the rumor on the street.
But there seems to have been a lot of rumors that there's been maybe problems with the production, and we hadn't seen anything yet, which is never a good sign. Like, what the hell's happening with that? I think the production title of what a God particle, I think, was thrown around for a while. Yeah. Well, then during the Super Bowl, they air an ad for the third film, and it is titled The Cloverfield Paradox, and it turns out it's going to be on Netflix, and it turns out it's going to be available like right after the game. Like, hey, cool, here's the Cloverfield movie, and you can basically watch it right now. Like, oh, okay, like that's cool. I guess in kind of, I don't know, I guess we, true Cloverfield fashion, where we don't really know we're getting something and suddenly it's here, kind of like the second film. So yeah, I have not had a chance to watch it yet. I mean, I tweeted last night, if I'd lived on the West Coast and I still could have stayed up later, I probably would have watched it right after the game, like I saw a lot of people doing on Twitter. But I had to go to bed, and I haven't watched it tonight because we're doing this. So probably maybe tomorrow night I'll watch it. I don't know, but I haven't seen it yet. I assume none of us have seen it. Bobby, have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't. I think, there was also another show that I watched called This Is Us that was on after the Super Bowl. And,
dude.
Dude. But specifically, I was thinking, about this whole thing, really loved the fact that it moves so quickly on in terms of how they advertised it and how it ended up being done so fast, because I think it was literally about a couple weeks ago, I remember reading that Netflix was in talks with Paramount to buy that third film, and it wasn't last time I think I remember hearing or seeing anything about it. And the reason was that Paramount was looking to kind of offload it because the productions had started to balloon to like 40 million, and the other movies were made for between 25 and 15 million. So it was getting costly, and they weren't necessarily happy with what they had, and they thought, well, if we do more reshoots, it's going to be more expensive. And in order to do it right, we want JJ, but JJ's kind of tied up right now. So what can we do? And Netflix is like, well, we'll take it off your hands. And so they did. And the surprising part of it was the first commercial showing like, it's coming out, and it's coming out on Netflix. I was like, okay, I guess that deal got done. And then later on, I think it was after the Super Bowl, and then the second commercial came on, and then it was like available now for streaming. And I was like, that was surprising, because I think you had text David that it was going to be available after the game. I was like, well, what? I didn't hear that. So I was like, okay, that's pretty bold and ballsy to do something like that after the Super Bowl, as opposed to their normal release schedule, which would be like on a Friday night when you kind of have the whole weekend to get into it, like they just did with their new series, The Altered Carbon. And I watched the first episode of that. So I was like, yeah, it seems pretty, like, why would you want to throw two kind of genre type things on the same weekend, as opposed to giving them a little space of separation. But I totally wouldn't have expected that. And yeah, I am interested in seeing the movie for myself to see how it connects.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in seeing it, like I just said, but it's purely, I think, for me, just, it's a Cloverfield film. I want to see it. Like, the trailer itself, I mean, it was quick and looks like an interesting sci-fi movie, but, I mean, if I had just seen that trailer having no connection to the Cloverfield franchise, I'd probably be like, okay, maybe. But, knowing it's a Cloverfield film, that's automatic for me. It's like, okay, well, I got to know what's up. And I haven't seen it, but I will say, like, the little bit I'm hearing is that people are very divided on the film so far. I've heard some not good things, and I've heard good things. So I'm definitely curious to see where I fall when I watch it. Michelle, any thoughts?
I mean, honestly, like, my jaw dropped last night when I was like, wait, what? Netflix? Like I said, I feel like the word on the street was kind of that we're looking at a film out in theaters for late spring, early summer. And to suddenly kind of have that, I don't know. I mean, my jaw dropped last night, and I was just like, you what? Wait, what's happening? And yeah, I mean, as far as the trailer goes, I don't know. The trailer was just kind of like, okay, well, I guess we'll just see what happens. And then, yeah, to find out that not only was it just going to Netflix, but that it was available right after the game, I was like, wait, what? Like, this is the craziest thing I've heard. And it completely took me by surprise. I haven't seen it yet. I'd like to watch it soon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it overly took me by surprise with the whole situation. Going to Netflix and being available right after the game, I was just so, like, in shock with it. Am I going to watch it? Yeah. The trailer doesn't convince me to watch it. The fact that it's a Cloverfield film is convincing me to watch it. I loved Cloverfield. I enjoyed, let me take it back. I enjoyed Cloverfield 10 years ago. I've really, really, really liked Cloverfield Lane a lot. 10 Cloverfield Lane was, right. I really, really was happy with that film. So yeah, at this point, I'm watching it just because it's a Cloverfield, and I just want to see what's happening. And it's just funny because I feel like what was it, 2 weeks ago we got the title for the fourth film, and I was like, wait a second, what's happening already? And so now it kind of makes sense, what's happening all of a sudden being revealed. I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't know. Well, all I can say is I'll watch it, and we'll just kind of see how I fall.
I think the one thing that makes me unsure about this movie is, and I'm just going off this trailer, but the trailer definitely is making it look like it is a very kind of direct kind of explanation almost as to like what happened before that first movie that we saw. And I think what I've been kind of liking about the potential of more films is that we were going to get more stuff kind of like the second film, which is they all have an interesting connection to that first Cloverfield movie, but they also are their own unique, very interesting stories. But they're all kind of like just basically connected to it. But this seems like this is basically a prequel to the first movie. Now, I don't know if that's really true because I haven't seen it yet, but that's definitely the way it was marketed.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like 10 Cloverfield Lane was basically a film about a person who was having a situation happen with the Cloverfield situation happening on top of it.
Right.
And I thought that was really interesting because it's like, well, it's like when anything happens that's really major in the world, you're already going through whatever you're going through in your life. And so to have another story unfold on top of that adds these extra deeper layers. And so I was kind of looking forward to having more films the way 10 Cloverfield Lane wound up being. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch this, and I'm just going to see. I fell in the whoa. high left field, how are ya kind of category right now. I'm so just in shock with the fact that it went to Netflix and it's available right now. Like, I think I'm still just kind of overcoming the whole, like, wait, what just happened? I don't know.
So yeah, Cloverfield Paradox is on Netflix right now if you want to watch it. We're pretty much out of time, but I was just kind of go around the table for if anybody has anything from the Super Bowl they wanted to bring up really quickly.
All I could say is the halftime show, as much as I do enjoy Justin Timberlake, was a little lackluster for me. And as far as commercials went last night, I will say, once I finally kind of caught on to what the hell is happening, the Tide commercials were actually pretty sweet. The Tide commercials last night kind of had me going for sure.
A lot of people seem pretty happy about the Tide commercials.
Yeah, like kind of let out of nowhere. I was like, wow, how about that? But saying that, the Doritos Mountain Dew, like wrap off, and that one came out earlier in the week, so we all kind of got to preview that. But that was still pretty awesome, I gotta say. Right. Morgan Freeman and Peter Dinklage, like hello, awesome. So I don't know,
doing their whole fire and ice routine.
It was pretty super clever. Sweet. And there was another one that was kind of cool, and now I'm kind of just blinking on it. But anyways, those are kind of my thoughts. And I don't like either of the teams, but I will say I feel the better team won. So I'm happier with the outcome than I think other people are. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Really? I think most people are pretty happy with the outcome.
I would say that basically anything south of New York City is extremely happy with the way that game went, but anything north of about New York State is
that little section up in England. Yeah, I'm sure they're bummed,
right now. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome.
There's a lot of Patriots haters out there, so like myself. So anyway,
I hate the Patriots. I don't like the Eagles either, but I hate the Patriots. Anyways.
Bobby, anything else you wanted to talk about?
I guess if I were to bring up anything else from the Super Bowl, as far as commercials and things that I saw, I only saw two things that really made me sort of scratch my head and was like, what were they thinking? And one was, I don't think I've ever seen a Scientology commercial before, so that was interesting.
Actually, they aired one during the Super Bowl once, I don't know if it was last year, but it was in the past couple years they did, yeah.
I missed that. I must have been asleep during that one, or in the bathroom.
It was just interesting because I was like, I don't recall ever seeing that. Wow. But yeah, so that was interesting seeing that. And then the other one that I was just like, okay, why? Well, what is this? And it was I think it was Dodge Ram commercial, and it was like Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice up on a speech playing over it to sell a truck. And I was like, really? It's Black History Month and you're using his voice to sell a commercial product? And I'm like, and I saw a tweet from I think his estate or something saying that they didn't okay that, or essentially saying, I think from what I understand or heard is that him being a public figure, that they were allowed to just use it. And I was like, well, that sucks, because I don't want to see Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. selling like Pepsi or whatever. You know, it's just, it doesn't seem right. So that one kind of got me a little bit.
It's funny you bring that one up, because I actually kind of enjoyed that one, because the whole motif around that one was that of service, not just military service, but just it was trying to push more people to serve other people, either by volunteering when there's national disasters. It was just, for me, it was more of an America persona message they were going for. And yeah, it kind of is disappointing that it's a truck commercial when it gets down to it. But I saw this morning on CBS this morning that it's weird, because basically, I guess there's the Martin Luther King estate, and then there's another section that basically is Martin Luther King's like speeches and basically usage of any of his vocal recordings or visual recordings. So it's almost like it's a split thing. And they were actually okay with it. And they supported the idea behind it because I guess they had to run basically frame by frame, storyboard wise, before they would ever give the okay to utilize the speech that he gave and his voice to be used for it. And they were good with it. So it's interesting to hear there's almost like a juxtaposition between the two I guess for lack of better terms, companies that are kind of in charge of, the Martin Luther King's, I guess, history, persona, whatnot. But I don't know. I actually kind of liked it. I like the message that the commercial was giving. Not necessarily the fact that they were trying to sell a truck, but more or less the whole, like, that speech is a spectacular speech by Martin Luther King. Like, it's really moving, and it's about people helping other people. And I liked that a lot. And I thought the visuals they had going with it really worked with it really well. But it's interesting to kind of hear there's two kind of camps that are involved with his being kind of going at it. It's interesting. But I actually kind of liked it. It's funny you said that.
Bobby, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Other than the fact that I did like the Mountain Dew and Doritos Blaze commercial. Yeah.
I didn't love that one. That was so good. And
the what was it? Oh crap! It just left my head.
It was the
well, go ahead, David.
It was the Kraft one, right? With all the families, and the pictures. Gotcha.
No, I don't even remember that one.
It's funny. Like, so I watched the Super Bowl, and which is funny too because it's just like last year and probably the year before that. It's the first NFL game I've seen all year.
Well, you and I kind of watched that one Steelers game, that one random Sunday.
But have I sat and watched a whole football game this year? I have not.
I'll give it to you.
With that said, I really enjoyed this game. I was actually surprised because I really couldn't care less, but it ended up being a really good game. And I was like, oh, wow, like I kind of enjoyed watching this. Like, but then the commercials this year, like, there seemed to be a lot of good commercials, but I found myself just kind of like phasing out during the commercials. Like, as soon as I could tell like a trailer was popping on, my attention would go to the TV and I'd watch that. But otherwise, I was like I kind of need to find all these commercials online and watch them because I really haven't seen a lot of them, as weird as that sounds. So anyway, my only other takeaways were I thought the halftime show was ho-hum for me. Like, I think Justin Timberlake is great, and I thought it was fine. I don't know, it felt like it was missing something. I wasn't that thrilled with it.
Like, when you compare it to, say, like Lady Gaga's performance or Katy Perry's performance or, like, Michael Jackson's many a moon ago, talk about lackluster.
Yeah, it just felt like it was missing something. But again, I'm a big fan. I like JT. He's great, but I don't know. My only other thing is that commercial we got for Castle Rock, the new show that's coming to Hulu. That looks really interesting to me. I'm a Stephen King fan, and this seems like it's, I guess, intertwining characters from various stories into one show, and all based in that town, Castle Rock. And it doesn't appear we have a release date for it yet on Hulu, but I'll probably check that out. It looked good to me.
Yeah, they were kind of, this week, they were having like almost like a promo for this teaser promo, as weird as it was. Like all week, there was like a quick little like quip for the fact that this was going to be happening. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it looks intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing that on Hulu.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. But I think that was it. I feel like I'm missing something. But did you remember what you had, Bobby?
I did. It was the Peyton Manning, not Peyton Manning.
The Eli Manning thing.
Oh,
yeah.
That one. Can you hear the eye roll happening over here?
What was that, Bobby?
No, I just thought it was funny that they would actually pull that off and making the moves, and everybody where I was at was waiting for them to lift for Eli to lift Odell in the air, and when it happens, everybody's like, "Yeah!" So it was pretty funny. I thought it was fun.
I will say it was kind of funny. Like, and I actually really didn't like the commercial, but there was the moment where Odell like kind of like laughs and like throws his head back the way that what Jennifer Grey does, and I was like, "Oh my god, I think I'm gonna die now." It's just that one little moment of like, oh my god, he really did it. You totally did that. That just happened.
All right, so that was this year's Super Bowl and all the news coming from it, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I forgot to mention, and you've probably noticed if you're listening, that Yasha disappeared, but yeah, he about halfway through the show had to leave us. He's fine; he just had to go. So
Everything's great.
I mean, once you stopped hearing him, that's when he had to leave.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, with that, we'd love to hear back from everyone listening. Let us know what you think. You can email us at feedback@flickereffect.com. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter. There's links to those accounts on our website. Just make sure to check those out. By the way, I want to thank everybody who participated in our first little giveaway we did on Instagram. We did that earlier in the week. So yeah, thanks for participating. We had a winner. You can go check out Instagram to see who won.
Yep.
We're at Flicker Effect on there. And with that, I'm David Lott.
I'm Bobby Jackson.
And I'm Michelle Hillard.
Thanks for listening.